One of our favorite segments on the program that we do here on television and radio every week is small caps for people too. And we met the folks at OriginOil last year, and what a story that's become. You've seen Riggs Eckelberry here. You've seen his mad scientist brother here. Their stock symbol is OOIL. They're of course their website OriginOil.com. Breakthrough water cleanup technology for oil and gas, algae, and other water intensive industries. And today in studio, Jose Sanchez, the VP of Algae and Aquaculture.
Nice.
Jose, thanks for coming in the studio.
Oh, thank you.
You are the second largest, tallest person we've had on the set. First tallest being Bill Walton.
Okay.
So did you play basketball in college? Or?
No, I used to play football.
Okay.
I bet.
Now I'm scared.
God, but I hate to line up on the other side from you.
Talk to us. You are a veteran in the design and field operation of in the algae business. Explain a little bit about your background.
You know, I started as an automobile designer. Later, I became a farmer, an algae farmer. Mm-hmm. We had a project in Mexico that was about, probably like 2,000 acres. That was the plan. Uh-huh. We have a small farm of 50 acres in Mexico with production of open ponds for Aurora Biofuels. And then we decided, given the situation in Mexico, to come over here to the United States and keep on with the work.
Right. With respect to that, one of the verticals for OriginOil is, of course, algae. It started out as an algae company, then it turned into a cleanup company, and then you got oil and gas as a vertical and water cleanup. Tell me specifically about your segment of the organization.
Okay. What we do right now is that we do the algae harvesters, systems to control microbiology in the algae cultures in commercial production, and systems to clean the water, which ended up being the aquaculture unit.
And of course we've seen. In fact, we're actually we filmed. In fact, here's a piece of what we filmed here out in the Salton Sea.
Algae farming.
Yeah, and how they clean the water. And our team went out there. Chris Janikis, Curtis Matovich, David Gilroy, David Comato went out there to film this. And this is going to be a part of a Bizumentary we're doing right here in the Big Biz Show coming up here next week. And you'll see the entire process. What happened out here at this Salton Sea thing?
Pretty much what we did is to present our first commercial size units for aquaculture and algae, to show them in the setting of the aquaculture farm, showing that we can grow algae and harvest algae and then use it for feed fish.
That's what I see a lot of fish there. Where do the fish go? Where do they come from? Who?
No, the fish start like a fingerlings like this, then they are fed, go to a bigger pond until they end up like a half a pound or a pound, and then they are harvested and sent to the Chinese food restaurant in Beverly Hills or whatever.
See that?
Yep.
Fish farming.
Well, and of course, and I've always talked to Riggs Eckelberry, who's the CEO of the company, about what I thought is a bigger vertical. He and I are in a constant argument about oil and gas. I think aquaculture, at the end of the day, could be a bigger vertical because you're feeding the world.
Yes, but our company right now is in a kind of breakthrough for the technology, because we have like one workhorse that is working for algae, for feeding the food, for feeding with food for the people and feeding for the aquaculture, and at the same time creating algae and creating products like solvents that can be used for petroleum industry. For example, we have a new trick in which we use heterotrophic algae, this white algae right here. Pretty much it started like manure, you know what? Yeah, cow or whatever. Then we sterilize it. Then we inoculate algae and a special kind of algae on that, and we get like 1,000 times more density in terms of fat than normal green algae.
And that's superfood for the fish, correct?
It's superfood for the fish, but for it will give us energy independence, because when you get this heterotrophic algae and then you obtain solvents from it, like equivalent to ethanol or diesel, and then you mix them, and then you inject this solvent inside the oil wells when they are dried.
Right.
You do the same thing as fracking, but what you do in this case is, you know where the petroleum is. Supposedly the well has been dried, let's say in West Texas. Right. You inject the algae solvents right there, get to the rock, get into the nuts and crannies of the rock, get the petroleum out. So to make the thing short, you inject 1 gallon of the solvent and you get 7 gallons of oil. So that's going to give us energy independence and food and, clean water.
That sounds like a
super food. Jose, I want you to stay here for a second. We're going to take you through another segment here. Jose Sanchez, by the way, is the Vice President of Algae and Aquaculture over at OriginOil. OriginOil.com is their website. Nice. OOIL is their stock symbol. I want to talk about the latest news, which has directly to do with the fact that the National Algae Association has selected OriginOil as their harvester. Jose's going to explain what that's all about. News at Big Biz Show. BigBizShow.com is our website. You can follow us on Twitter at Big Biz Show. Forget Origin Oil, breakthrough water cleanup technology.
Yes.
Go to OriginOil.com. And, of course, in studio right now, Jose Sanchez, Vice President of Algae and Aquaculture for Origin Oil, and OOIL is their stock symbol, OriginOil.com. There was a great press release out, Jose, that we wanted to talk about, and that press release had to do specifically with the fact that the National Algae Association, and we talked about this with Riggs last week. I didn't even know there was an algae association.
I'm telling you. I'll be speaking to the group next
Apparently
winter.
there is. They've selected you folks as harvester for its model algae demonstration site. What does that mean exactly?
It means that we are going to be the staple for the National Algae Association members for harvesting and microbiology control.
So you are so you're going to be the standard.
Yeah, we are going to be the standard. The reason is this. When you harvest the algae, you can do it with a centrifuge or you can do it with a filter or something. Mm-hmm. But by using our system, we are like 3 times cheaper than they are to accumulate the biomass.
Right.
And at the same time, we control microbiology. We kill the bacteria and we kill rotifers, parasites, and everything else that eat the algae.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if you see a pond scum or something and later it stinks and everything,
Yeah.
that's a bacteria. So we kill them, and that's the reason for which
So
they
the
choose
bacteria
us.
stink and not the algae.
No, what happens is that the bacteria eats the algae and makes something called like hydrogen sulfide that is very stinky.
Yeah, well, I've
Yeah,
heard
right.
around that.
Now, what? Before let's get out of here, Jose. As far as the business model goes, is in your area, in particular for Origin Oil,
Yeah.
is the biggest vertical inside of what you're doing? Is it the cleanup, or is it the feeding of fish? Or is it all of the above?
It's actually all of the above because everything is going to be an integral part of a new system. For example, if you are going to do aquaculture, you will need algae to feed the fish because right now fish meal is like $1,800 per ton.
Wow.
Okay. I can farm algae at $600 per ton by using my systems. Okay. And at the same time, this fish meal or algae meal is going to be more nutritious. It's going to provide better taste to the fish. It's going to be by far cheaper. And the other thing is going to stop the outbreaks that I don't know if you have seen in Mexico, northern Mexico, when they have an outbreak of the early mortality syndrome. And that's because the food might have been tainted with different parasites.
Right.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Jose, thank you so much for coming. I hope you'll come back with us. Jose is the Vice President of Algae and Aquaculture. And what's next for you? Is it just still beating the drum for new technology, or now is it just trying to get other trade organizations?
No, at this moment we are licensing the technology, so we are going to have several manufacturers, in Singapore, in Japan, in France, in Mexico, in the United States. So we are going to start seeing different, a scale up of the technologies be deployed in every farm, in every algae farm, but it's going to be our licensors, the ones that are going to be doing the
That's the way to do it. You don't have to mess
Well,
with
sure, that's
filtering
exactly
them
right. Jose, thanks very much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you very
Origin
much.
Oil, OriginOil.com. There's the website. Breakthrough water cleanup technology for oil, gas, algae, and other water-intense industries, and of course,
What a great! It's like the way you explained it was like your cable. They package stuff. Like you get your phone, you get your cable, you get your internet. With this, you feed the fish, you clean the water.
right.
You
Well, this
send
is
the
why
fuel.
this is why I keep on being in front of this. I think the biggest vertical for these guys is agriculture and algae. So of course, OriginOil.com. You can get all the information. OOIL is their stock symbol, but check them out. Very interesting. Very.
I want to be a fish farmer. Rusty Nails Fish Farm. Come visit.